Good morning, I'm back. Or good afternoon. After the last one, I realized it was church time, so I had to pause and go. But the dishes are still here. And we're on page 84 of a little over 500 pages, so we're making progress. So thanks for joining in. Now we're in the future. So we are on crappy destruction of property. Sorting crap happens philosophy, which is about dealing with our crap, turning it into fertilizer to grow something out of it. So like post-traumatic growth. Okay. So crappy destruction of property. This page actually came because I think I shared, I don't know if it was on this thread of Reels or another one, but Tina Miller now, used to be Tina Thomas, and her husband do the Be Kind signs in Westminster. And I have a picture of the one that's spray painted. I think it's at a local church, but it's spray painted. The Be Kind is spray painted, so you can't see it. I was like, oh, that's so crappy, right? They like put up these signs and somebody spray painted it. So I made a page for it. Someone spray painted a Be Kind sign is very crappy and negative. Infinite Love Project aims to create a ripple of kindness. That's a quote. Create a ripple of kindness. They're infiniteloveproject.com, bekindsigns.com. The back of their signs I have a photo of in the book too is your Be Kind sign encourages us to be patient, loving, and kind to others and to ourselves. Tina, I'm not sure if she said this or posted this or where I saw this on the thing. She said, everything works better when you're around kind and empathetic people. And sometimes we just need a reminder to see a sign. Crappy destroyers or builders reducing crap. Hina Hashimi or Hashimi. Some people around us are energy vampires while others are energy boosters. Our bodies resonate like a turning fork. That's why their vibration impacts our own vibration. Hans F. Hansen. People inspire you or they drain you. Pick them wisely. Martin Luther King Jr. said we must learn to live together as brothers or we are going to perish together as fools. Michael Franti. If you haven't heard his music, it's look him up, Spearhead. It's great music. He has a song, you can bomb the world to pieces, but you can't bomb it into peace. And then I have a picture of like somebody with like headphones and there's like an explosion behind them. Found on a blog by Kyle Cummings. Not only do people fail to see, they fail to hear. Ooh, I know what's next. People that cannot hear you. And I have a picture of like, I think like, it's hard because I print in black and white or it would be like triple the cost in color to do it, but next page isn't crappy fear, but it has to do with that. Somewhere I have their ears are filled with crap, like I can't handle. But the next page on page 86 is crappy fear. Fear to change is crappy. Rudyard Kipling, born in 1865, died in 1936. Of all the liars in the world, sometimes the worst are our own fears. Donald Trump said, courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the ability to act effectively in spite of fear. Rumi, I see 1207 to 1273. He lived. Forget safety. Live where you fear to live. Destroy your reputation. Be notorious. It's attributed to him. Quote attributed to Buddha, the whole secret of existence is to have no fear. Chris Jammy, with a hint of good judgment, to fear nothing, not failure, make sure it's clean, or suffering or even death, indicates that you value life the most. You live to the extreme, you push the limits, you spend your time building legacies, those do not die. Fear is crappy. Will Smith said, fear is not real. The only place that fear can exist is in our thoughts of the future. It is a product of our imagination, causing us to fear things that do not at present and may not ever exist. That is near insanity. Do not misunderstand me. Danger is very real, but fear is a choice. Pema Chodron, born 1936. Fear is a natural reaction to moving closer to the truth. Winston Churchill, Sir Winston Leonard Spencer Churchill, born 1874, died 1965. Fear is a reaction, courage is a decision. Steve Harvey, the number one cause of failure in this country is the fear of failure. Aldous Huxley, born 1894, died 1963. Love casts out fear, but conversely, fear casts out love. And not only love, fear also casts out intelligence, casts out goodness, casts out all thought of beauty and truth. So I guess it's, what are you afraid of? Fear is a reaction, courage is a decision. Ooh, acronyms. So we're on page 88. How you handle fear is your choice. Fear, acronym. Fear, false expectations appearing real. Fear, face everything and recover. Above fear acronym, credit given to Alcoholics Anonymous. Kelly Sullivan Walden is quoted facing face it, embrace it, and replace it for fear. Steve Harvey, a few quotes from him. What I learned from that moment is that when you face your fears, they aren't as big as you thought they were. What makes them big is when you don't turn around to face them head on. The longer you avoid your fears, the bigger they grow in your mind. He was born 1957. Don't let crappy fear get in the way of your peace. Cut the crap is the next title. There can be some crappy thoughts and places you may go. Dr. Seuss's Oh, the Place You'll Go book. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too. Games you can't win because you'll play against you. And I was curious of when Theodore Seuss Geisel lived, 1904 to 1991. And I write, maybe we all need to cut the crap, denying that there are problems within ourselves, our circle of control, and beyond our control, that all can lead to crappy unintended consequences. Discuss the crap to finally start to deal with the crap so we can heal the crap. Remember, Renee Jane said, don't believe every worried thought you have. Worried thoughts are notoriously inaccurate. Yeah, and anxiety is often fear-based. A lot of thoughts that probably will never happen. Yeah, so cognitive behavior therapy, which we actually started with, where it is pages in the book, but distorted thoughts, and some people just have very fortune-telling, worst-case scenario. It's called catastrophizing. Yeah, and it's to recognize you're doing. It's kind of the first step to be like, oh, this probably won't happen, right? Okay, let me go ahead and turn the page to page 90. We're weaving through it. Oh, crap retreaters. Poor crap retreaters. So, crap retreaters. This one is not washed away. What do you think a crap retreater is? Somebody that retreats from crap. It's actually, was it Patricia who? Enemy was Robert Morton, I think. Where when you can't reach society by the society's goals, you have these 5 options, and it's in the book later. But one of them is retreating, which is you give up, you don't try. There's problems and you just don't deal with them. It can be individual, family, society, culture, all that. So some individuals see all the crap around them and have their own personal crappy feelings, emotions, thoughts, memories, experiences, maybe even their current situation. So instead of dealing with their crap, they do and think things to avoid it. They may even accept the crap, but be aware of it, but gave up trying to change it or heal it, learn from it. Oh yeah, so I do have like Search Retreatism by Robert Merton on so I was taught Anami, but then I heard something called Anomi, so it's pronounced both, either way. Maybe they are so frustrated that they try their hardest to do the things right and feel like they're not getting ahead what they want. Anami as cause. Examples: too much television, computer games, reading romance novels, the altering, changing states of mind, drugs, alcohol, etc. So there's all of this is just not fully participating in life. And like some self-care can look like watching a movie, playing your video games, reading romance novels. So it can be like not everything is bad, but some people do it to avoid reality. And sometimes, yeah, it can be a coping tool, but the addiction side of it is very dangerous because some people it's a whole other thing. But crap filled is the next page. So the idea of the book is like it launches conversations. So I do a lot of quotes, but people can like take it wherever they want to go, and hopefully it ends up with positive results. So crap filled. Some people have so many bad things happen to them, or even just one, but they do not know how to cope with their problems, and they sadly stop living life to the fullest and never reach their potential. They hear crap, see crap, smell crap, speak crap, feel crappy. Defense mechanism is isolation or withdrawal. Some would say they were full of crap. Some may never go past their coping mechanism. Cut glass of stress never overflows, but what happens when your glass of stress starts to overflow? So I have like a little picture of like the glass where it's like half full and like overflowing. So some people, it's like they're so full of issues, like even like talking to couples, some issues were, before I was born, and it comes up, or even family members, like some of their issues are unresolved issues from the past, and they start an argument about one thing, and it leads to like things that happened decades ago, and you're like, what? So sometimes repressing everything, it just keeps coming back up. But Hunter S. Thomas, well, some could say they are pushed over the edge. Ooh. So this is actually like when people are about to lose it, because the next one's crap explosion. Hunter S. Thompson, 1937 and 2005, said, "The edge, ... There is no honest way to explain it, because the only people who really know where it is are the ones who have gone over. Have you ever gone off the cliff? If you don't know what I'm talking about, you probably haven't. You may wonder if something crappy happens when someone is already filled with crap and gets pushed past their edge. Well, next page, 93, crap explosion. As a human, there may be a limit to how much stress, negativity, crap an individual can control. Some call it a breaking point, a meltdown. Textbook addicts may call it a manic episode. Others may call it a very unhealthy defense mechanism. I've heard people referring to this situation as the volcano erupting. This can happen to a fairly crap-free individual when an extremely crappy traumatic experience occurs, or to people who do a poor job dealing with their issues, usually full of their own crap. And the smallest thing makes them have a crap explosion. Judy Chamberlain, who wrote On Her Own on page 70. It's a great book if you haven't read it. There's a quote, "People do not go crazy for no reason." Example is saying offensive things, violent, out of character, blaming, doing odd behavior, crappy, explosive. Possible defense mechanisms: anger, acting out, projection, disassociation, delusional, projection. So sometimes if you see somebody that's like totally acting out of character, yes, there might be a chemical imbalance or substances, or it might be like their life is just really stressful too. And our job is not to judge, but to, you know, depending on what you do, everyone's job is to try to be kind. I think some crap explosions though, when people really lose it. I'm curious if that's what happens when people lose it, because I think some people are not here today because of that. Whether it's a death, some form of death of despair. So healing with everything matters so much. Oh crap, is page 94. So we have crap head and crap body on like two things. So crap head, an individual has so much crap she has not dealt with that clogs the brain and that can cause pain, headaches, and or thinking difficult. Unaware individual may think this is a permanent situation, but it is not. They can exhibit diagnosable symptoms. See the DSM, Diagnostical Statistical Manual. We're on 5TR during the filming of this, but they'll probably come up with a new one. Difficulty thinking is no joke. If you've never had that symptom of depression, like making a sentence is hard, making a photocopy, like really simple tasks are hard to do, even for people that usually can. So next one is crap body. The ignored crap transforms into physical pain, illness, anxiety, or sleeping problems. Some people hurt themselves through physical pain. Individuals with either crap head or crap body can be pleasant to others, but can't enjoy life fully while not dealing with their own crap unintended consequences. So that could be like somatization or acting out. And the one for the crap head can also be hypochondria. FYI, wellness tools list on page 316. DSM stands for Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders. Over on page 95. 96 is like a whole book for kids. Crap filled can lead to the crappy pit of despair. Having too much crap or crap you don't know how to handle can lead to a downward spiral in the crappy pit of despair. This pit is fairly normal for people to fall into at some point in their life. You're lucky if you don't, but have some compassion because a lot of people do. People daily get out of this pit. It may take work to get out, doing something new, but those who try will eventually succeed and may lead more fulfilling lives because being more grateful than before the pit. And I would say like they have some wisdom and compassion and empathy potentially. We should be educating students on this pit so they don't make a permanent decision to a temporary situation or feeling. And in the little box it says they hear crap, see crap, smell crap, speak crap, feel crappy, think crappy thoughts, or unable to think clearly, which is all very crappy. Have you experienced a crappy pit of despair? Do you know anyone that has? Page 96 describes it. And then in the beginning I shared Beware of the Pit of Despair, which I made into a kid's book. Because we need to teach kids, like, yes, they are wonderful and everything like that and smart and all this. But I'm like, you can also be wrong. We're only human. We didn't create the universe. You know, we should fact check ourselves and, you know, yeah. You're beautiful, wonderful, all these things, but our brain's only so big. Like, we don't know everything. Like, I feel like the awe of bigger than humanity is like missing in my society, our society. So it's almost like we have this like inflated self-esteem, whereas if we had like some humility, so I'm thinking it's never going to get better, like, but this awareness that we're likely wrong, right? Like that awareness. So crappy pit of despair. I think I may have shared the picture, but if not, I know all the words are backwards, but it's like you're surrounded by your own crap and you can't see your way out of it. Where am on dishes. So common crappy signs: depression, can't think, hopeless, hard to move, exhausted, doubt past happiness, fear. I could like show you in the DSM one day. When I got back to writing this book, I wasn't like into, I don't know. Not all social workers are wonderful. So I wasn't into doing that. I was writing this for like people that may not like social workers, and I didn't want it to be too educational, if that makes sense. Like, there's enough educational, feel good, and like factual, and I was like, I just want this to be like easy, like simple, silly, to the point, not sugarcoating it. But there are like diagnostic criteria to be majorly depressed that do matter, and you can seek therapy. But you may believe the following lies. I'm going to do the lie and then the truth, so I don't just like go off on lies. Cause like, so number 1, think it will never get better. The truth is everything changes. Number 2, you feel like you are alone in this pit. And the truth is, even if you know no one, multiple hotlines for help. And why I renewed my license to be a therapist. A lot of therapists really want to help. And also other people who experience this pit, even though it's like you're in your own little silo, there's tons of people in their silos, so you're not even the only one going through it. Number 3, no one else has ever felt this bad. The truth is depression impacts nearly all families. Number 4, you feel like you're a burden, but the truth is you're not a burden alive. Suicides, overdoses, they affect generations. Like even a client, like, well, my grandma's sister died of suicide or something like that. It like impacts them. It's like somebody in my line, you know, like it's scary. Like it's you know. So getting help is like really the only right option. And I shared, I think, on the next page, but like the only suicide you can prevent is your own. And I think as society, us that are like social workers and stuff, like we are and educators, like we're failing. Like our culture is not doing what it needs to do. Like I'm trying, I'm like writing books, I'm making videos, I'm making a fool of myself, I think. But like the goal is one person gets help that needs it. And yeah, there's so much education. Like we should teach cognitive distortions like really young. Like it should be in our book on, you're so wonderful, but you're only human, so you can be wrong, you know. So number 5, the lie is you can't be helped. And the truth is you can be helped. You have to do some of the work, but there are people that are more than honored to like walk your healing journey with you. Like that's my career. Like, and that's a lot of people's career. Like it's a, you know, the suicide hotline in the US is 988, and there's suicidepreventionlifeline.org. Andy Andrews wrote, he was born in 1959. Beginning today, I will create a new future by creating a new me. No longer will I dwell in a pit of despair, moaning over squandered time and lost opportunity. I can do nothing about the past. My future is immediate. I will grasp it in both hands and carry it with running feet. When I am faced with choices of doing nothing or doing something, I will choose to act. I seize this moment, I choose now. Like, yeah, the pit of despair, there's tons of writing on it, just different. So, like, I used his because he does say pit of despair. I think I found it way after I started writing about it. Because this book is like maybe the 10th or 15th, it's less than 20 versions, but it's more than 5. Started in grad school, and, well, yeah, started in the late 90s and then continued. It wasn't a book then, it was just me talking about crap. But okay, page 97, positive quotes. Rupi Kaur, born 1992, so young. You look at me and cry, everything hurts. I hold you and whisper, but everything can heal. Tamron Hall, born 1970. Remember, the darkness doesn't last forever. There's always a light, I promise you that. Corrie ten Boom, who's a concentration camp survivor, lived 1892, died 1983, so 99. If that's right, on her 99th birthday. No pit is so deep that he is not deeper still. With Jesus, even in our darkest moments, the best remains, and the very best is yet to be. Gustave Flaubert, born 1821, died 1880. The most glorious moments in your life are not the so-called days of success, but rather those days when out of dejection and despair you feel arise in you a challenge to life, the promise of future accomplishments. Genia Parada, some things scratch the surface while others strike at your souls. Victor Hugo, even the darkest night will end, the sun will rise. Edgar Allan Poe, 1809-1849, deep into the darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. Chandler Sutherland, believe in yourself, take on your challenges, dig deep within yourself to conquer fears, never let anyone bring you down. You got to keep going. Fyodor Dostoevsky, and you know the plan was never to read all this, some of these names. The darker the night, the brighter the stars. He lived 1821 to 1881. Alright, enough dishes for now. See you tomorrow.